Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, joins us now. Alina, good to have you on. How is the former president handling this onslaught at this point?
I'm actually here at Mar-a-Lago. I just finished up a meeting with him. He's doing great. He's in good spirits. He's continuing his life as normal. You have to remember, Rob, this is normal for him, right? Which is so sad, but this is just another day in the life of Donald Trump, as you pointed out.
You're focused on the Letitia James civil suit. Did you ever imagine that the entire system could be weaponized like this? Because, again, this is another one of these cases where when you look at I mean, the fact that Weisselberg's in Rikers right now, the fact that, I mean, it's so audacious.
It's unbelievable. Alan Weisselberg was put under a tremendous amount of pressure to either give them information or go to jail. And he said, I have no information. What I did was what I did. And he, maybe on his personal taxes, didn't cross his T's and dot his I's as he should have. But this was something that a normal person, as you pointed out, would have gone to the IRS, negotiated a fine, and that would have been the end of that. But because of his Trump affiliation, because of the Trump organization affiliation and who he was, they're trying to, again, use him to leverage getting Trump. And the one thing that they keep forgetting, Rob, is that in order to get Trump, he has to have done something wrong. He did not do anything wrong. It's selective prosecution at its best. And we're watching it again with Michael Cohen.
It is something else. Just this week, the judge rejected a request to have the civil trial delayed. The trial is scheduled to start October 2nd. What exactly is the defense?
Our defense is very simple, that these valuations of properties are what they are. We had sophisticated banks like Deutsche Bank. We had sophisticated insurance companies who took the values presented to them, did their own appraisals, just like anybody who was purchasing or selling a home would do. And loan terms were negotiated, personal guarantees were provided, and frankly speaking, Donald Trump is worth a tremendous amount more than his statements indicated. His brand alone is incredibly valuable.
Right. Yeah.
People forget that. That wasn't even on there.
Yeah. Seems like pretty open and shut, but I guess you never know in New York. Alina, thank you so much. Good to see you.
It is. Thanks, Rob.
Of course. Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz back with us tonight, author of the new book, Get Trump. Sir, good to have you back. Still no indictment. How humiliating this must be for Alvin Bragg in this moment, considering so many in his office were reportedly against this decision.
Well, they're right to be against it, and it really puts Bragg in harm's way. It's unethical and subject to discipline if a prosecutor calls a witness to the witness stand who he does not believe is telling the truth. And there's no intelligent person who could now believe, after the statements by Bob Costello and the letter to the election agency, that he's telling the truth. And you just can't do that as a prosecutor. And so he has really three options: to try to make the case around Cohen without using Cohen. That may be why they're delaying it and calling all witnesses, or using Cohen and subjecting yourself to possible bar discipline, or dropping the case, which would be the smart thing to do. I don't think there'll ever be an announcement that the case is dropped, but it is certainly possible that it will wither away.
Right.
Now, grand juries always indict. It would be really unprecedented if there were a grand jury revolt. It would be wonderful. It would be refreshing. It would really show the grand jury acting as it's supposed to act, as an independent organ to protect the defendant, not as the handmaiden of the prosecution. But I doubt that will happen. It's possible.
Are you worried about the precedent that's being set by the behavior we're seeing in this country, this mob mentality, prosecutors and DAs being elected because they promised to attack somebody that their voters hate? It's so immoral, and we have these people all over the country.
Well, that's why I wrote my book, Get Trump. It's not about Trump. It's about the precedent that's being established by targeting individuals.
Yeah.
Show me the man and I'll find you the crime. That's what happened in the Soviet Union, in banana republics.
Right.
This is a terrible precedent. And today it's Trump, tomorrow it's a Democrat, the day after tomorrow, it's your Uncle Charlie and your niece and your nephew. And so every American, I'm a liberal Democrat who wants to maintain my constitutional right to vote against Trump for the third time. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm a supporter of the Constitution. I'm a supporter of the Bill of Rights, of the Sixth Amendment. And this is just such a violation of the rule of law. This is the weakest case and the greatest abuse of prosecutorial discretion I've seen in 60 years of practicing law. And I've seen a lot.
I've seen a lot. Yeah.
Compared to this one.
Something else. Alan Dershowitz, good to see you again. Thank you, sir.